Welcome back to the Guardianly Real Scam Stories podcast. Today, we are dissecting a digital heist that took less than a second to execute, but wiped out 10 years of careful planning. You might know G Love as the frontman for the alternative hip-hop band G Love and Special Sauce. Outside of music, he's a seasoned crypto investor who has been navigating digital asset markets since 2017. On April 11, 2026, he had what he described as a really tough day. In an instant, his entire 10-year retirement fund, roughly 5.9 Bitcoin, valued at around $439,000, was drained from his account. Taking to social media, he confirmed the loss publicly. He explained that the theft happened right after he bought a new computer and accidentally downloaded a malicious ledger app from the Apple Store to manage his funds. When skeptics accused him of making the story up, his response was raw and direct. He admitted that the scammers caught him off guard and took sole responsibility for his lack of diligence, specifically to warn other investors. If a veteran who has survived nearly a decade of crypto volatility can lose $500,000 without clicking a sketchy email link, the vulnerabilities facing the average retail investor are severe. The exploit worked because it hijacked one of the most trusted digital environments in the world. The Apple App Store is heavily curated, leading users to assume that any software listed there has passed rigorous security checks. G Love followed a common workflow. He bought a new computer, opened the App Store, and searched for Ledger Live, the official companion software used to manage Ledger brand hardware wallets. He found an app that looked entirely legitimate. The scammers had successfully bypassed Apple's review process to list a visual clone of the official Ledger software, complete with the correct branding and user interface. The scammers relied on psychological exploit. By infiltrating a trusted marketplace, they turned G Love's existing security habits into an open door for his funds. To understand the fatal mistake, we have to look at how a hardware wallet operates. Its entire purpose is to act as a secure, physical enclave for your digital assets. The private keys that control your money never touch your computer, keeping them isolated from malware. This diagram illustrates the role of a seed phrase. This 12 to 24-word sequence serves as the root credentials for your entire account, allowing anyone who holds it to reconstruct and control the wallet from any location. The fraudulent app prompted G Love to verify his wallet by entering his 24 words directly into the desktop interface. By typing that sequence, he effectively broadcasted his root credentials to the scammer's server. Nannily, transferring funds requires you to physically press buttons on your hardware wallet to sign and approve the transaction. But possessing the seed phrase grants the attacker total control over the accounts, removing the need for any physical confirmation. Every single security feature of a hardware wallet becomes useless the exact second your seed phrase touches a keyboard connected to the internet. G Love's stolen retirement fund was a fraction of the total haul. Blockchain investigator Zach XBT traced the path of this fake ledger app and discovered it had drained over $9.5 million from more than 50 different victims. Between April 7th and April 13th, 3 other major victims suffered catastrophic losses. Because a seed phrase grants access to the entire portfolio, the attackers were able to sweep high-value balances simultaneously across the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana networks. To clean the stolen assets, the attackers routed the funds into a centralized mixing service known as Audi A6. This service fragments large, traceable sums into chaotic, overlapping streams to break the forensic link between the victim and the thief. Once the funds were scrambled, the mixer deposited the fragmented crypto across more than 150 separate exchange addresses. Flooding a major exchange with dozens of small, disconnected deposits complicates attribution and delays intervention. The speed across multiple blockchains, the rapid consolidation, and the sophisticated laundering route prove this was a highly organized syndicate. They deliberately exploited vulnerabilities in Apple's App Store to acquire the funds, and gaps in KuCoin's compliance network to wash them. Following public outcry, Apple removed the malicious ledger clone and terminated the developer's account. KuCoin also stated they had temporarily frozen the suspicious accounts tied to the laundering operation. But actions like freezing accounts are often too late. Once stolen cryptocurrency passes through a mixer and is fragmented across hundreds of exchange wallets, tracking and recovering the original assets is nearly impossible. Protecting yourself comes down to one absolute rule of self-custody. Never type your seed phrase onto a computer, phone, or any internet-connected device. If you need to recover a wallet, you enter those words directly on the physical hardware device using its own buttons. Furthermore, you cannot blindly trust App Store search results, even on curated platforms. Always download companion software by navigating directly to the hardware manufacturer's official website. Scammers rely on you to let your guard down in familiar, trusted environments. Stay vigilant, double-check your downloads, and never give up your seed phrase. If this story helped you secure your assets, please subscribe to the Guardianly Real Scam Stories podcast and share this video to help protect others.